Hello, yogis, and welcome to our Wednesday Connect restorative practice, where we are going to focus on our relationship to trust and faith. My name is Jill Enticknap, and I am the lead trainer and creator of Yogi Institute, and I am so happy to have you here. So for today's practice, you're going to want to have some props, a big pillow or a bolster, something that has a little bit of firmness to it, some blocks. If you don't have blocks, anything that creates that stable, you could use books, you could use other pillows, anything that can create and allow for some support. And then I recommend having a blanket as well. So blocks, pillow, and a blanket. Our restorative practice is really about allowing the time and the space for us to relax and utilizing the props to support our body. Now, as we come in today's practice, as I mentioned, we're going to focus on trust and our relationship to trust. So when we think about that, when we feel into that, maybe there are people in your life that you really trust. Maybe you really trust yourself and your own decisions. There's always going to be circumstances in our lives that are unknown. And when we can examine our relationship to trust, we can bring more stability and ease and peace into our life experience. Let's go ahead and start today's practice in our supported butterfly pose. So take your blanket and fold your blanket up and place it at the back of your mat. Take your bolster and place it on that blanket to create a nice little decline. This is going to become our backrest. Take your blocks and they are going to come to the side. We're going to bring our low back nice and close toward that bolster. Soles of the feet come together, knees come out wide, and then find a way to utilize the blocks to support the knees. So maybe the blocks are on the medium setting. Maybe you have pillows instead of blocks. You just want to be able to allow the knees to really relax open. As you start to let yourself come back, leaning back and letting your hands come down by your side. Close down your eyes here and let's start to become aware of our breath. Feel the chest and the belly rise and fall. Let the shoulders fall away from the ears, maybe even shifting the chest a little bit more to the ceiling. Put your trust into the props to support your body and into your body to be able to relax into this pose. Find this pose in your body. It's not about putting the body into the pose. It's about putting the pose into the body. And then creating the space and time to reflect on how the posture feels. As we settle in, see if there's anywhere that you can release a little bit more. See if there's anywhere that you can relax. Let's do a breath practice that is a 4-7-8 practice. This breath practice helps us to relax by flooding the body with more oxygen. So we're going to inhale for the count of 4, pause for the count of 7, and then exhale for the count of 8. You may want to press your tongue against the roof of your mouth to create restriction in the back of your throat. And I'll count out 3 rounds. Take a big breath in through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can continue with this breath practice as you allow yourself to fully release, surrender, and trust in the props and in the body. I'm going to let my voice fall silent as we focus on the breath and allow ourselves to settle into this beautiful restorative pose. See if there's anywhere that you can release and relax with your exhale. If or when your mind wanders, bring your awareness back to the breath. Let yourself be here in stillness. And let's flip the palms, palm facing down. Slowly, gently press yourself up. Use your hands to guide your knees back together. Extend your legs out in front of you. Let's take a moment and kind of pedal out the legs, bringing a little bit of movement, a little bit of mobility into the hips. And then let's inhale, get nice and tall through the spine, and exhale, hinge forward. Just coming to a point where you feel some stretch through the back line of the body. Come back through center. You can place the blocks off to the side. Take your bolster, bring it across the back. You may need to shimmy yourself forward a little bit. And we're going to pop ourselves up onto our bolster as we let the head come back. You can find that blanket or move the blanket off to the side. Bend into the knees, coming into a supported bridge pose. So make sure that that bolster, if you have a block or a pillow, that works too. Make sure that it's right underneath the sacrum so that it feels nice and secure. You can let your palms come palm facing down by your side, or maybe even reach your arms up overhead. I encourage you here to close down the eyes and return to your breath awareness. Allow any sensations that you feel in the body to draw you back into your practice, back into the posture. Stay really curious about what you feel from a sensation standpoint. See if there's anywhere that you can create release in the body. Give yourself permission to relax. What is trust to me? What do I need in order to feel like I trust someone or I trust a situation? Taking this time to cultivate some self-reflection. Start to heel toe the feet wide toward the edges of the mat to the point where you can blink your toes together. And see if that changes how the posture feels in your body. Does it create more tension in the low back, less tension in the low back? Does it create more sensation through the hips, less sensation through the hips? Let's pose another question for self-reflection. How do I react or respond when my trust is broken? How do I react or respond when my trust is broken? Take a moment to reflect and look back on times in your life where maybe you felt unsure. Someone has done something to make you question if you can trust them. And rather than it be about them, let it be about you and your reaction or response. Start to heel toe the feet back toward one another to hip width distance. We're going to bring the right ankle above the left knee and let that right knee fall out. A little bit more gentle hip opening. How do you respond when your trust is broken? How does it feel? What does it make you think? How does it change your perspective of the person or the situation? Stay connected to your breath. Maybe your mind is being flooded with experiences or circumstances or situations. Know that this is a perfect time to have a subjective look and know that if your reaction has not been what you wanted it to be, know that that's okay. Create a space of compassion for yourself. Create a space of acceptance for yourself, so for your reaction. Let's take that right foot, draw it in, and then let it plant on the floor, and we'll switch it out. Left ankle comes above the right knee. Let the left knee fall open. Finding this reclined figure 4 in your body. It's only when we have awareness, and awareness is created through reflection, that we're able to understand our reaction, that we're able to understand ourselves. And it's through the lens of compassion and acceptance where we can start to decide that we want to respond in a different way rather than have an automatic reaction to a person or a circumstance or a situation. Be kind to yourself. Be gentle with yourself as you reflect on the topic of trust. Come back to your breath awareness. Breathe into this pose. Let's let that left foot pull it in first. We'll bring it down to the floor. Take a moment and windshield wiper out the toes, start shifting from side to side. Come through center. Let's extend the legs straight up to the ceiling for our waterfall pose. Creating a little bit of inversion. And let's imagine that we are walking on a stone. Keeping the feet flexed. Just finding this in your body. I find that inversions allow me to see things from a different perspective. And we can link that to imagine that when you feel like your trust has been broken, if there is a reaction that you'd like to change, imagine that you're walking in a different way, that you're responding in a different way. Let's bring the feet back down onto the floor, plant them down, lift the hips up, slide that bolster out from underneath you, and then slow and controlled lower down one vertebrae at a time, letting the low back connect to the floor. You may want to bring your hands onto your hips just to feel that groundedness of the palms onto the hips. Let's take 2 deep breaths here. And then gently start to shift the knees from side to side. Let's draw the knees into the chest, wrap the hands around the knees, and we'll just pause here for a moment, taking a few deep breaths. Find your pillow or your bolster. Bring it over to the left-hand side of the body. And let's let both knees fall over to find that bolster, find that support. Tee out the arms and gaze toward the right hand. Let's come back to our breath awareness as we take some deep breaths deep into the belly. Feel the torso fully expand. And feel it release into the floor. Deep breath in, expand. Full breath out, release. Now, from a space of compassion, see if you can visualize yourself responding to someone or a circumstance in a different way. How would you like your response to be? What if the trust was misbroken due to a miscommunication? What if it was broken? What if you could gain understanding as to why you felt betrayed, why you felt that your trust was broken? What if you could really gain some clarity and help you to understand how you trust someone, how you trust something, a circumstance, a situation? Are you someone that trusts first? Or are you someone that a person has to earn your trust? Do you trust yourself? Trusting yourself to make good decisions. Let's bring the knees back through center. Take that bolster, switch it to the other side of the body, and let both knees fall over to the right, finding that bolster, finding that support. Extend your left arm out to the left. Maybe you tee out the right arm and gaze toward the left fingers. Come back to those deep belly breaths. Do you trust yourself to make good decisions, to create good relationships, to have open and honest communication, to create connection? When your trust has been broken, has it also broken your trust in yourself? Bring the knees back through center. Take a moment, wrap the hands around the knees. Maybe rock from right to left. And we'll extend out long. Take a deep breath in, stretch your arms up overhead, lengthening, stretching from fingertip to toe. Big breath in. And with your exhale, let yourself sink into your final resting pose. You may want to bring your hands down by your side. Take any kind of little wiggles, adjustments. You can utilize the props in any way that feels good and right for you, allowing yourself to sink and settle into this final resting pose. I'd like to offer an idea that may bring some peace to your heart, and it definitely does for me when I think about trust. My trust falls into divine perfection. I trust and believe that every circumstance and situation is exactly the way that it's meant to be. The painful pieces, the joyful pieces, and everything in between. I choose to believe that there is no other option that could have happened other than the option that did. Meaning my response or reaction was the only response or reaction at that time. Meaning that the circumstance or situation was the only outcome that could have occurred for my highest growth, love, and evolution. I choose to believe and trust in the hard times as being one of my greatest gifts and tools for growth and for deepening my connection to love and faith and trust. Maybe this is a concept that is really challenging for you. How could terrible things be the right thing? I believe that we can connect to the unconditional love of the divine perfection that exists, and that we can trust in that. I'm going to let my voice fall silent for a few deep breaths. I encourage you to reflect on this idea, to reflect on this concept of divine trust. Let's take one more big breath in. Open mouth exhale, breathe it out. Draw your knees to your chest. Gently rock from side to side. You can either flip your palms, palm facing down, or rock yourself up into an easy seat. Ground down into your sit bones. Press your palms through heart center. Tuck your chin to your chest. I encourage you to continue to reflect on your relationship to trust, your relationship to the divine, and your relationship to the peace that these two concepts can create deep in your heart. Know that you can come back to this practice anytime when you're needing, that you want to reconnect to trust, when you want to reflect on your relationship to trust. Thank you for being here. Please feel free to leave comments. Please feel free to share this with others, and feel free to reach out. If these are ideas that are new to you and you'd like more depth, I'd love to hear from you. You can find me on social. You can email me at jill@yogiinstitute.com. I believe that trust is very important, trusting ourselves, trusting our path, trusting our process, trusting that we are guided by an unconditionally loving force for our highest good. The light, the love, the wisdom in me sees, honors, reflects, and encourages the light, the love, the wisdom in you. Namaste. I hope to see you again on your mats very, very soon. Again, if you enjoyed this class, be sure to favorite it, share it, like it, subscribe, follow. This is my passion, and sharing it with you makes it that much better. I hope to see you again on your mats very, very soon. And until then, may your light be your guide.